Superman. Superman. Superman is directed by Richard Donner. It stars Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, and Marlon Brando. Just to let you guys know, this video is the second in a series of reviews I'm doing before Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice comes out. It's called My Favorite Batman and Superman Movies. What this series is a series of reviews of me reviewing my personal favorite Batman and Superman movies before the movie Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice comes out. Next week I'll be focusing again on Batman with Batman Begins. Then after that I'll be focusing on Man of Steel, then The Dark Knight Rises. If you have not seen Superman the movie yet, there are a few spoilers in there. Not a lot. There are a few spoilers in this review, so spoiler alert. Now, there are tons of things I love about this movie. One thing I love, automatically, Christopher Reeve's Superman. Christopher Reeve, in my mind, will always be the perfect Superman. He looks like Superman, the dude acts like Superman. In my opinion, Christopher Reeve is Superman. I mean, Henry Cavill is a good Superman, but he'll never capture the same charm as Christopher Reeve did. One thing I love about Christopher Reeve is, although he still has the same image, style, likeness of Superman, there's a lot of scenes in here where Superman is really humanized. I mean, there are scenes in here where Christopher Reeve is still Superman. Humanizes the character a lot. One of my favorite scenes that does it is, yes, of course, a lot of people know this about the cheesy moment. It's pissed and like goes into the sky angry like there is a scene, but there is one moment in that scene I do like. It's when he thinks to himself, all those powers, I couldn't even save her. That is a great humanizing moment for Superman to realize that he is still technically human, that he's not used to all these powers, that he's still technically in training as Superman. Another aspect I like about Christopher Reeve as Superman is I also like him as Clark Kent. He's not only a great Superman, he's a great Clark Kent. He plays like this real clumsy, goofball guy, but I like to watch him as Clark Kent. He just does such a great job of Clark Kent, and it brings so much to the character of Superman and Clark Kent. Another thing I love about this movie was Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. Gene Hackman, in my opinion, for what we've gotten so far. Okay, we have not gotten the perfect Lex Luthor in movie form yet. Jesse Eisenberg could still surprise me. What we've gotten so far, Gene Hackman is probably the best Lex Luthor we've gotten so far. The dude was awesome as Lex Luthor. He gave us so many great lines like, Lex Luthor, the greatest criminal mind of our time! I mean, there's just so much Gene Hackman does with the character of Lex Luthor. I love seeing him on screen. He can be menacing, he can be comical, he can be all these kinds of things. And every time I see him, I see Lex Luthor, not Gene Hackman. Another thing I really liked about this movie was the effects. Now, I will admit this, some of the effects are a bit dated, but there are really well done practical effects, particularly the opening scene when Krypton gets destroyed. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it just shows grim reality that Superman escaped from before he came to Earth when Jor-El sent Superman up into space to live on Earth. It just shows why he did it when Krypton got destroyed. That was such a grim and gruesome scene that it was so freaking dark, but it was so freaking well done. It's probably the best effects in the movie that we've gotten besides Superman flying. Another thing I really liked about the movie was the style. Now I'll admit this, although the movie, a lot of parts are trying to be serious, there's a lot of humor in the movie that brings the style of it. It's a lot like the original Superman we've gotten used to now before Man of Steel. It's that kind of Superman that we all know. And I like that style of it. It really shows that they have love for the character of Superman, love for the world of Metropolis. Another thing I really love about this movie was the score by John Williams. The music is perfect. Every time I hear the theme song for this movie, I think of Superman. I don't think of any other character besides Superman. Every time I hear it, I just think Superman. Every time I hear it, I think Superman. Another one of my favorite scenes actually is when Clark's dad dies. This scene for me was personally really, really sad. Superman in the movie, his sad death scene was actually really, really sad because he looks at his grave, says, all those powers, and I couldn't even save him. That's one of my favorite lines in the entire movie. It's repeated twice. Now, if there is one complaint I will have for the movie, it's just a tiny one. It's Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. She's alright. She's not a great Lois Lane. She's not this groundbreaking Lois Lane. Just alright. Lois Lane has never really been an interesting character. Let's face it, throughout all this time, Lois Lane, she's never been an interesting character. I mean, that's just personal fact. I will admit this, she did try to have some personality as Lois Lane, it just didn't really fit that well. But overall, guys, Superman the movie was still a fun time to watch. Every time I watched this movie, I had non-stop fun. It had great action, it had pretty good action scenes, it had great acting for Christopher Reeve Superman. Gene Hackman was awesome as Lex Luthor. The storyline was good, the music was absolutely fantastic. I love the humor, I love the style, I love the look of the movie. The look of the movie screams Superman. I love most of the scenes, like the opening scene on Krypton. I give Superman the movie, although I have one tiny flaw with it, I still give Superman the movie an A+. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching my review for Superman the movie. If you liked the series, really like down below. I wish you is this. How did you see Superman the movie? What did you think about it? Or comment down below, let me know. Anyways guys, I'm NateTheMovieGuy, and I'll see you guys soon.